A short drive down this old road leads you to Simpson Spring, a locally owned natural spring water and bottling plant located in southeastern Massachusetts. This company is not only just known for their natural spring water, but also for their delicious flavored soda that's been exciting customers for 100 years. We decided to take a visit and take the factory tour given by Matthew Bertarelli, whose family has owned and operated this plant since 1988.
Alright guys, so I want to welcome you to Simpson Spring. We are the oldest bottling plant that's still in the same place in the country. We started in the year 1878, making us 138 years old right now. Alright, so you guys are currently in the office room to Simpson Springs. Now if you guys take a look right here at this desk, that's basically what an old-fashioned desk would look like back then when they used to work in here. Alright guys, so I want to show you this sacred safe that we have in our factory. This right here was actually robbed in the 1950s by one of the men who robbed the Brinks Bank in Boston. He actually broke into the spring late one night and tied up our night watchman in the corner of the room over there. He actually started to burn through the safe, as you can see from this green discoloration up at the top. After about 30 minutes he noticed that the night watchman had actually escaped and went to go get the police's help. So this guy naturally left the building as well without being able to grab anything. But even if he was able to burn through the first door, there was another door directly behind it. And believe it or not, this has always been our office building in here. So even if he had burned through this gate as well, there was pretty much just paperwork in here and small office supplies. As you guys can see, like invoices, like nothing that's too critical. Alright guys, I want to welcome you to the museum of our factory. This is the room where we store all of our old machinery that was once in use but no longer is. So if you guys take a look at this right here, this is our old single foot press labeling machine used in around 1913. If you take a look, these small labels were put on this tier up here. Someone would be standing at the bottling line and they would press their foot down like this and it would swing down and stick the label on the bottle. This is when the process was extremely slow back then, as you guys can imagine from the looks of the machine. But as they moved into the 1920s, they had to adapt and buy the world-class labeler. So this could do 2 bottles at once as opposed to 1. Does not seem like much nowadays, but back then that was a huge increase to their production. Moving on the line, there was this machine right here. Actually used to add the carbonation and the bottle caps onto the bottles. Basically they would stick the bottle in here, they would close this cage, they would stomp on this thing for the bottle cap to go on, but before that they would have to pull this lever to release the CO2 into the bottle. They would actually have to close this cage, and while using the machine they would actually had to wear this mask while operating it. If the bottle had any imperfections, it would blow up and the glass would shoot through all of the small holes here. They actually always wore this mask until they moved on to the new machine. If you guys take a look right here, you will see that this is the updated machine to keep up with the world-class labeler. This did the carbonation and the bottle cap as well, but only with a single foot press. So this machine was much simpler and they no longer had to wear the mask when operating it, so it was much safer to use. Before the 1930s, we did all of our deliveries by horse and buggy, and after that we proceeded to cars and trucks. This bottle, equivalent to roughly a 5-gallon jug that they would deliver. Now, water as a substance weighs 8.5 pounds per gallon, so it's pretty heavy on its own. You add that to about 60 pounds of glass. Later on, when they moved to plastic, things got a lot easier. They used these wooden crates here to swing and actually pour out the customer's water, so they didn't leave them with the bottles quite back then. Alright guys, you guys are now looking at a 1930s modernized vending machine. This is basically the first idea of a vending machine to come out. So if you guys take a look, basically someone would have to be standing next to it working the machine like I am now. You would pay them for your soda. You would then reach into the basin here and pick out whichever flavor that you would like. As you guys can see, the ice would be loaded through the front here. You could open up your bottle right here, and then on the side was used to pour out the ice water. If you guys take a look at all these flavors here, we don't carry all these flavors anymore, such as Iron Brew, Sherbet, Nerve Tonic, but Nerve Tonic was basically like a Red Bull of their time, so it was an energy drink.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's no longer made.
The Simpson Spring sodas are known for their tasty flavors and wide variety. Matt took us up to the mixing lab where the different soda flavors are created.
The spot right here where we make all of the syrup to all of our soda flavors. Basically we take all of our materials, we put them in this stainless steel bin right here, and this bin is actually linked up to our spring. So if you look at that spigot, it's actually directly linked to the spring as well as that sink there. So basically whenever we make the soda or we're cleaning the materials, we're using the spring water to do it, which is really cool. So basically after we make the soda, we send it down through these pipes right here, down into our factory downstairs where the soda is bottled. Our soda is about 90% spring water and 10% syrup. Alright guys, so I want to welcome you guys to the laboratory. When you guys step in this room, you're literally walking 100 years back in time because nothing has changed about this room. Wow. So basically what we have in here, guys, this is the room where all of our soda flavors were actually created. Basically, Samuel Simpson was the original owner of Simpson Springs. He started in the year 1878, and his grandson-in-law, a man named Dr. Howard, who was also known as the Burbank of Leather, he actually created all of Simpson Springs soda flavors and then left the company directly after that. He then went on to create the dustless duster, which then became the vacuum cleaner. So in this room, we basically just created a collection of old bottles. Not all the bottles in here are Simpson Spring. You'll see bottles from Coca-Cola, Pepsi. It's basically just a soda bottle collection that we've created here. Among our glass bottle soda collection here, we also have these two books. These ledger books date back from the 1870s and move all the way up to 1983. They use these books for over 100 years, handwriting, to keep all of their records.
Learning about the history of Simpson Spring has been very interesting, but I had a couple questions I wanted to ask Matt about his family's business.
Alright, so I've got a couple questions for you.
Alright.
Do you have any difficulty running a business like this from only one spring?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's got a lot of difficulties. I'd say the main difficulty though is educating people about basically what we have here.
Alright. So what's your favorite part of your business?
I would say my favorite part about the business, honestly, is the water. I drink at least 1 gallon to 2 gallons a day of it, and I think it's unbelievable.
So what are a couple of challenges you have running a business like this?
The challenges are pretty much endless, from trying to figure out how much bottles we have left to fill, how much water we have left in the tanks. It's basically just constantly monitoring things and keeping things in check.
Can you tell us how your spring has some greater purity than your competition?
Basically, the one thing I can tell you guys is you know exactly where you're getting your water when you come here. It's one natural source. Most places, basically if you guys look at a bottle, they only have to put 13 different sources where they get their water. So if they have any more, you wouldn't even know about it. So basically I'd say the best part about it is you know exactly where you're getting your water. It's tested twice a week from an outsourced lab. So it's basically about as pure as you can get.
So, and where does your water originate from?
So we had a geographer come in here and take a look at our spring. He actually told us that it originates somewhere from Nova Scotia, Canada on the western side. I guess it trickles down and comes up in multiple different aquifers, and we're lucky enough to have one here in Easton.
Trickles a long way.
You got it.
What are some of your most popular products?
I would say our most popular products are probably our white birch soda, our cream soda, our orange soda, and our ginger ale. And then, of course, our natural spring water.
I'll have to try one of those on my way out.
Absolutely.
What do you think are some of the coolest things about Simpson Springs as a company?
I think one of the coolest things about Simpson Spring is that we've been here since 1878 in Easton. We haven't moved, and basically we've been doing the same thing the entire time. I mean, we've been environmentally sustainable since the 1950s, washing glass bottles before anyone talked about the environment. So basically we've just been doing the same thing here, and we haven't changed.
Why have you guys decided to stay in the same facility?
Basically,
is that part of history?
Yeah, basically we have a ton of history here, but the main reason is the building is actually built on top of the spring. So when we're pumping water, we're pumping from directly beneath us, and when you walk in our building, water is beneath you in all places.
So how has your business evolved over the years?
So we have changed a lot from people remembering us that you'd come in and basically just see pallets and grab soda off that. We've basically changed it now to the point where we sell spring water, we sell our soda, and now we also sell meats that are all grass-fed from locally raised places. We sell local honey, local cheeses, and different things like that. So basically we've tried to turn it into like a small local grocery store as well as a place to get your water and your soda.
So you've now opened a marketplace.
That's the best way to put it. We've opened up a marketplace.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next stop was down to the bottling area, where we took a tour to see the bottles cleaned, filled, and packaged.
So this machine right here is actually what makes all of our soda, believe it or not. This is the carbonation machine. So basically this is what intakes our spring water, it intakes the CO2 and the syrup, and basically mixes them all together to create the final product. So this is the machine that makes the soda, and then after that you send it from this machine over to our bottling machine. Alright, so I now want to welcome you guys to the bottling room for our soda. Basically, if you guys take a look right over here, we have our spigots. Basically, the empty glass bottles would come along the line here and be filled by this machine. Right after that, they would come along here and be bottle capped by that machine there. But all of our machinery is actually from Italy because the American machinery, they do not make anything that's basic. It's all things with sensors and different modules, and basically all we need is a basic machine that outputs carbonated beverages and puts a bottle cap on it.
So how many bottles do you make in about a day?
So that's a good question. I'd say it takes us about 2 to 3 hours to actually bottle the soda once it's all ready, and we'd make about 140 to 160 cases in that period of time.
All right.
This has been a very exciting tour of Simpson Spring. There is still one spot left on our tour, and it's where it all started.
Alright guys, so I want to welcome you guys to the spring room to Simpson Spring. This is the room where we get all the water that we use in our water and soda here. Wow. Yes, so if you guys want to take a look, basically we have the pipes that go down about 6 feet into our natural spring right here. Now basically a lot of people would expect that they would go down about 200 feet, but they actually end about right where you guys see. And then basically we use the pumps to pump the water up between the rocks and the earth. And on its way up is actually where it picks up a lot of its minerals, which is really cool. So if you guys take a look at the pipes too, you'll notice that there's a lot of condensation on the pipes. The reason for that is the spring remains from 47 to 50 degrees all year round. So it doesn't matter if it's 110 degrees out or negative 10, the earth naturally regulates the spring water level, and the temperature level. And then basically if you guys take a look over at the windows here, we bought them off a church that was going down in the 1960s, and we actually used them to protect the sun's UV rays from hitting our spring. If the sun's UV rays were to hit the spring, it basically would create an algae or like that green stuff that grows around it. So we used the windows to protect that from happening.
I think the cream soda is my favorite. I'd like to thank Matt and the rest of the Bertarelli family for showing me around this fantastic company and helping me learn a lot about Simpson Springs Bottling Company. Thank you for watching Tim Talk on the road.